amount of fans support and everything else, and it's just been crazy. And I gotta say, for all the things that seems negative and everything else, there's been a lot more positive coming from it, and that's why people are like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Look, I'm still smiling," because if you focus so much more on the negative stuff, you will just end up just beating yourself up about it, just feeling negative about it. Just look at the positive things that's happening to you because of that.
Yeah.
So tend to just focus more on that.
And at the end of the day, it's one thing that really generates interest in bodybuilding is storylines, and I think the kind of the way that all the twists and turns of your story. I mean, I was following all the because you got some really good content from Korea. Don't get me wrong. I mean, this would make a fantastic documentary if you just collated all that footage. And I saw the nice video of you going around the venue, and it looked amazing. And so it's really, we've all been following your journey, mate. So honestly, I don't even know what my first question is, Colleen. What's my first question? How you doing? Okay, so right, the other day I saw the results going out from the Korea show, and I'll be honest, I went absolutely crazy because I didn't fully understand what was going on. I thought I saw your name down a second, and I was like, how has this even happened?
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's something that it happened, and obviously with the way the show was run and everything else, obviously in quiet and everything else. You kind of think, okay, it is what it is. You look at the scorecard and it's like, okay, you lost by 1 point.
Yeah.
And, from my own point of view, I thought, man, come on, man. I thought I had it. I was like, come on, this was it, But obviously, just like every show, bodybuilding, judges might see it differently and everything else. So you can only moan and complain about something for so long. And then you just be, you know what, just move on, man. It is what it is, Focus on the next one, and just kind of just move on in that way. I mean, obviously with everything that built up to the story as well, it's kind of like, it's a painful one. It's a painful one,
I mean, when I saw the pictures, I was like, well, at least you got beat by somebody that's really, really good. I mean, that guy is probably, I think he's got an absolutely incredible physique. So it's not like you got beat by someone clearly that really was not in your league. You got beat by someone there by 1 point that really is, he's absolutely incredible. He's a fantastic bodybuilder.
Oh yeah, exactly. So you kind of, as I said, the things are, you kind of look at the upside of it and everything else. The only one painful thing is, until them pictures actually came out, I did not have a clue what I looked like on stage.
Oh really?
Because there was no photos, no phones, no nothing. Like literally, you came off stage and you're thinking, I don't even know what happened. Like I can't even analyze. I can't see anything. Literally, until it dropped out yesterday, I didn't know. I literally had no evidence, nothing to actually say. Okay, what went wrong? What did you miss? Did you miss your mark? Did you hit it? Well, you didn't have anything. We know that we know what we looked like before we went to the venue. We knew everything else, but as soon as we walked to the venue, we had to sign the contract of silence and of completely everything of not posting anything, just completely shut down everything like that. And then they took your phone away from you.
Yeah.
So it was almost like, okay, all right, if this is what it is, okay, let's go. So you kind of did the show and everything else. And when you came off stage, you kind of like, okay, the results are in. And then you're thinking, normally this is the point where you go home, you look at the photos, you look at the videos, you think, man, you start analyzing, okay, what? But at this point, you didn't even have that.
Yeah.
So when you're calling up your family, you're calling your friends saying, look, we came second. You don't even have anything to like show them. They're like, so what happened? Was he good? Why is that? And you're like, man, I can only tell you what I think, but without actually having anything in front of you, you're just basically one man speaking, and it could come across that you're just basically speaking because you lost.
Yeah.
So it's like you just kind of like, look, until something drops out, I can't even see it myself, So that's the only one disturbing thing that happened with everything,
So you got out to Korea. You then were told you had to quarantine for 2 weeks, correct?
Yeah.
Then the show got put back. Just trying to go a little timeline of events, and then the show got put back.
Wow, another 2 weeks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So the first part was basically I had to quarantine in the hotel in Korea, in a government-sanctioned hotel room for 14 days. Yeah. I mean, proper quarantine. Not, you can go out once a day for a walk, or you can walk around the hotel. No, you have to be in the room for 14 days straight, night and day, every minute, for the whole 14 days. So the thing is, we prepared for that when we were going out there. We knew what it was, so it wasn't like, okay. So we kind of planned, okay, how are you going to train? How are you going to keep your diet up? I mean, I think getting the food was basically the worst part of it, or the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you can't call room service. You can't do. They provide what they food for you, and you don't make order. You don't say, "Oh, can I have this?" No.
Sorry, Samson. I'm trying to get a handle on the food situation. So what kind of food were you given? Given you're on contest prep.
You know when you're on a long haul flight in airplanes and they give you them airplane meals in a little pack. Basically, you get that 3 times a day.
What? You didn't even have. Yeah. Hang on a minute. You didn't even have bodybuilding food the last 2 weeks, so you couldn't get your own food. You couldn't get anything delivered.
The way we planned it, basically, we saw the situation. We called up Korea. We found out, okay, what is it? What can we have? What can we have? And we basically got the whole idea of, you know what, you got nothing. This is you going on. So when I was going out there, literally, it was almost like we had 2 days to plan it. So we were like, okay, we got my bags out. We said, forget trying to pack clothes and everything else. You're going to be stuck in the room. Fill it up with as much food as you can.
Okay.
So we basically bought the packet of rice, everything we could grab. And then we basically, all our protein and meat and stuff like that, we basically froze them and chucked it all in the bag.
Okay.
So we had a week's worth of meat to kind of have to keep us, okay, we can get past the first week. Okay, cool. And then from that point on, I know the promoters, they were trying to arrange something with the Korean government to send us some food and some weights and stuff like that. And they said, look, they're going to try to do that. So we think, okay, if we got enough to last the first week, the second week, hopefully that should have already been sorted by then. Okay, that would be the case. So when we showed up at the hotel, we were like, okay, we're ready for this. We planned it out. You know, we kind of adjusted. The first week wasn't bad. I mean, the first week, nobody even knew I was in Korea. We kept it quiet. We're like, no, don't say anything. Just focus on what you have to do. So the first week, nobody even knew I was there.
Yeah.
So we kind of did our meals, you know, use the bands, do any workout you can to get the workout going and everything else. We did all that. And then second week, what happens basically, the meat we grabbed, towards the ending of that first week, they started going off.
Oh, no.
Because small hotel room fridges and stuff like that. So it's almost like oh crap, okay, we have to just eat it here. So we did all that, and we had like shake powders and stuff like that. And it was getting to the point where we were thinking it was going to be a case we're going to have to survive because all our protein is going to be from powdered shake and stuff. So luckily, the Korean, basically the promoter said that basically the government, they tried to send us food, and the government shut it down. Said you can't send anything to them.
Why?
Because apparently, their thought is if they send food to you and you become ill in the room, they're responsible for it.
Oh,
so
no. Was that not even a meal prep company? I know that they're like in Korea, but they couldn't. There was no way of getting any food through.
We're not allowing anything in. They weren't allowing.
Oh shit.
So basically, it was a backwards and forward fight. They were fighting with the Korean government trying to get some things over.
Yeah.
And then it got to the following second week, and it was just about when we were just about to run out of everything, the day before run out, they basically allowed them to send in a box full of protein, full of egg whites.
Okay, well, something.
And we were like, okay, you know, yeah, that's a good start. We got protein. Hey, okay, that's this thing. Yeah. So we basically started surviving on basically white rice and egg whites for the last few days of the second week of the quarantine.
Yeah.
And it was basically just white rice and egg white diet.
Yeah.
You know, and we just kind of pushed through that way. And you know, it was crazy, but this was basically the situation where it wasn't. It was literally we planned it, but this is why it kind of ended up happening. And you think, okay, you don't sit there complaining about it. Make do improve every way you can. You know, you were already in shape before you went out there. All you got to do is maintain that look. You know, do whatever you can, maintain that look.